Close your eyes and imagine this. It's Friday evening, and after months of anticipation and countless hours scrolling through review videos, the moment has finally arrived. You are sitting in the quiet of your room, holding a box that feels heavier, sleeker, and more significant than any object you've touched in a long time. There is a specific, almost sacred ritual to it. The soft hiss of the plastic seal being torn away, the slow suction slide of the cardboard lid, and that unmistakable scent of factory-fresh technology that hits your senses like a drug. For a few fleeting seconds, as you lift the device and feel its cool, unblemished surface against your palm, the world feels perfect. You feel upgraded, as if by possessing this object, you have finally stepped into the skin of the person you were always meant to be. Someone more successful, more efficient, and more complete. The stress of your daily life, the insecurities of the past week, they all vanish, replaced by a surge of pure electric excitement that radiates through your chest. But then, Monday morning arrives. You slide the phone into your pocket and head to work. By the second week, that new smell has evaporated into the stale air of your commute. By the first month, the device you once craved with every fiber of your being has become just another tool, scratched and smudged by the reality of everyday use. The magic is gone, leaving behind a strange, hollow space where that initial rush used to live. And suddenly, almost instinctively, you find yourself back on the internet, eyes glazing over as you watch the announcement for the next big release, searching for the next must-have item that promises to finally make you feel that way again. Does this sound familiar? Have you ever wondered why the joy of new is so incredibly intense, yet so painfully short-lived? Why do we spend our hard-earned money and our precious mental energy chasing a feeling that we know, deep down, will disappear in a matter of days? Today, we aren't talking about the people who have found peace in the old and the worn. Today, we are talking about us. We are going to look into the mirror and dissect the hidden psychology of the upgrade, exploring why your brain is addicted to novelty and how this endless pursuit of the next best thing might be stealing your freedom and your focus without you even realizing it. To understand why we fall into this trap, we have to look at a biological phenomenon that psychologists call the hedonic treadmill. Imagine you are running on a treadmill at the gym. You are moving fast, your heart is racing, and you are putting in immense effort, yet you aren't actually going anywhere. Your position in the room remains exactly the same. This is precisely how our brain processes happiness from material things. When you get that promotion, buy that house, or unbox that new gadget, your level of happiness spikes. You feel a rush of euphoria that lights up the reward centers of your brain like a firework display. But here's the catch. Your brain is wired for survival, not for permanent bliss. It is designed to return to a baseline level of emotional stability as quickly as possible. This is called sensory adaptation. Just as your eyes adjust to a dark room, or your ears stop hearing the hum of an air conditioner, your mind eventually stops feeling the joy of your new possession. Within days or weeks, the extraordinary becomes ordinary. The upgraded version of you becomes the standard version of you. And because that peak of excitement felt so good, you begin to crave it again. You start to believe that if you just reached the next level, if you just bought the next model, you would finally stay at that high altitude of happiness. But the treadmill just keeps spinning. You are working harder, spending more, and chasing faster, only to end up exactly where you started, searching for the next hit of dopamine. This isn't a failure of your character. It's a glitch in our evolutionary software. Our ancestors survived because they were never satisfied. They always wanted more food, better tools, and safer shelter. But in a modern world of infinite consumer choices, this ancient drive has been hijacked. We have become hamsters in a wheel of more, convinced that the next upgrade is the empty boat that will finally carry us to peace, when in reality, it is just another weight being added to our ship. This biological trap is only half the story, because there is a powerful external force working to keep that treadmill spinning. The phenomenon of psychological obsolescence. In the world of design and manufacturing, there is a strategy called planned obsolescence, where products are built to physically break after a few years. But psychological obsolescence is far more subtle and dangerous. It is the art of making you feel like your perfectly functional, high-quality item is suddenly old, ugly, or out of tune with the world. Think about your current phone, your current car, or even the clothes in your closet. Do they actually work any less efficiently than they did a year ago? Probably not, but the color feels slightly off compared to this year's trend. The screen bezels look just a fraction too wide. The software icons seem a bit dated. This is not an accident. Every marketing campaign, every carefully staged leak of a new product is designed to create a sense of dissatisfaction with what you already own. Corporations aren't just selling you a new feature, they are selling you a way to escape the shame of being left behind. They exploit our deep-seated human need for belonging and status. We begin to fall for the spotlight effect, convinced that everyone is noticing our older model and judging us for it. We feel a nagging anxiety, a fear of being outdated, as if our personal value is directly tied to the version number of the software we run or the year of our car's registration. This creates a state of perpetual mental hunger. We stop seeing our possessions as tools to help us live and start seeing them as burdens that need to be replaced. We become prisoners of an imagined judgment, spending our time and mental energy managing an image that, in reality, most people are too busy to even notice. We are so busy looking at the next that we've lost the ability to appreciate the now, effectively becoming a full cup of consumerist anxiety with no room left for true contentment. This mental trap leads us to a deeper, more personal stage of the cycle: identity fusion. We have stopped buying things for what they do and started buying them for what they say about us. In our modern world, the objects we carry have become a form of symbolic self-completion. We feel a certain lack of confidence, a gap in our identity, or a fear that we aren't enough. So we look for external symbols to fill that void. We buy the latest professional-grade camera, not because we are photographers, but because we want to feel creative. We buy the rugged off-road SUV, not because we climb mountains, but because we want to be seen as adventurous. We are essentially trying to purchase a personality. But here is the paradox. When you tie your self-worth to a version number or a brand name, your identity becomes as fragile as the glass on a smartphone screen. Every time a new model is released, your self becomes obsolete. You are forced to upgrade just to maintain your sense of value. This is the opposite of the reverse status signaling we see in the driver of the old Mercedes. They are already complete, so the car is just a tool. For us, the car or the phone or the watch is a prosthetic for a missing piece of our soul. We spend our lives managing an image, a carefully curated spotlight that we hope will blind others to our insecurities. But the more we fill our lives with these upgrades, the heavier our boat becomes. We are so weighed down by the cost of maintenance, the stress of monthly payments, and the anxiety of staying current that we have no energy left to actually sail. We have become a full cup of consumeristic expectations, leaving no room for the quiet, simple satisfaction of just being. We are running faster and faster on that treadmill, convinced that the next mile will bring us to a place of peace, while failing to realize that peace is found in the moment we decide to step off. This brings us to the final, most important realization. The path to true psychological freedom doesn't lead to a store, it leads back to yourself. There is a quiet revolution happening right now, led by those who have chosen to step off the consumer treadmill. These are the people who have realized that new is a drug with a rapidly diminishing return. They have understood that when you stop obsessing over the 10%, the external objects, the latest versions, the shiny surfaces, you finally reclaim the 90% of your mental energy. Imagine the mental space you would gain if you no longer cared about the spotlight of social judgment. Imagine the financial and emotional peace that comes when you stop trying to purchase a personality and start building one through mastery, patience, and character. This is the essence of voluntary simplicity. It is not about deprivation. It is about the deep, lasting satisfaction of maintaining excellence rather than constantly chasing novelty. It is about realizing that your boat is already enough to carry you across the river of life. You don't need to trade it in for a faster, flashier Gessel every year just because a commercial told you to. When you learn to look at your current possessions, your 3-year-old phone, your decade-old car, your worn-in clothes, and see them as reliable companions rather than outdated burdens, you have achieved a rare kind of success. You have resolved the cognitive dissonance of our disposable culture. You have emptied your cup of the toxic need for more, and in that empty space, true contentment finally has room to grow. So the next time you feel that familiar itch, that electric surge of desire for the latest upgrade, ask yourself, are you buying a tool or are you buying an escape? Are you filling your life or are you just weighing down your boat? The treadmill only stops when you decide to step off, and in that moment of stepping off, you might just find that you've been standing exactly where you needed to be all along. You are already complete. You don't need an upgrade to be whole. You just need the courage to be still. If this message resonated with you today, take a moment to look at something you already own and appreciate its story. If you want to explore more about the hidden psychology of our modern lives and how to find peace in a world of more, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here and for having the courage to empty your cup. We'll see you in the next journey.